He was one of the most beloved faces of Chinese television. Charismatic, versatile, and with a career that grew brighter each year, Yu Menglong was admired not only as an actor and singer but cherished as a man of warmth and humility. To millions of fans, he embodied sincerity and promise. And then, one morning, everything changed. News broke that Yu had been found dead outside his apartment, his body lying beneath the fifth-floor balcony. Initial reports suggested a tragic accident, a late-night fall, perhaps under the influence of alcohol. It was a sudden, shocking end to a life that still had so much ahead. But what seemed, at first, a heartbreaking accident would soon unravel into one of the darkest scandals in recent memory. The first headlines: a fatal fall. The earliest headlines were brief, almost clinical. Popular actor found dead after balcony fall. Authorities suggested carelessness or misstep. The story of a young man, exhausted, perhaps tipsy, losing balance in the night. Fans grieved quietly. Flowers, candles, and handwritten notes appeared outside his residence. To the public, it was simply a devastating accident, until cracks began to show in the narrative. The scene of the fall. Details that didn't fit. Investigators soon found inconsistencies. The safety net on the balcony was strangely torn, almost as if cut. Curtains inside the room had been ripped down, their fabric twisted in unnatural ways. Then there were the Rolex watches, two luxury timepieces belonging to a friend, left behind under suspicious circumstances. No one knew why they were there or why they were placed so oddly. Blood traces were discovered on shattered glass. Forensic tests showed some of it did not belong to Yu. Subtle marks of struggle suggested that the scene had been staged. It was no longer the picture of a simple fall. The last night, a dinner with friends. To reconstruct Yu's final hours, investigators traced his steps. On the night before his death, he dined with close friends. Witnesses described laughter, easy conversation, and wine. Nothing seemed out of place. At around 2 a.m., Yu excused himself. He locked his door and went into his private room to rest. 4 hours later, at dawn, his body was discovered by a neighbor out walking a dog. What happened between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. became the central mystery. The shocking confession. For weeks, suspicion swirled online. Fans doubted the official account. Journalists pushed for answers. Protests and vigils grew louder. Then came a breakthrough that changed everything. Several suspects, tied to Yu's inner circle, confessed. They admitted his death was no accident, but a premeditated murder. According to their testimony, Yu had been drugged, rendered powerless. The balcony scene was staged. Curtains ripped, the safety net damaged, objects scattered. The Rolex watches, deliberately planted, a cruel distraction meant to confuse investigators. This was not impulsive violence. It was cold, calculated, and merciless. The motives: money, resentment, and secrets. Why would anyone want Yu dead? Investigators pointed to a dangerous combination of motives: financial disputes, personal grudges, and something more ominous. Yu, it seemed, had stumbled upon secrets, dark truths about the entertainment industry. Information powerful enough to endanger influential figures. In the words of one suspect, he discovered something that should never come to light. And for that, they chose to silence him. The nation reacts. From grief to fury. The confession spread like wildfire. What had once been whispered suspicions now stood confirmed. On platforms like Weibo, hashtags trended for days. Hashtag justice for Yu Menglong, hashtag truth for Yu, hashtag punish the guilty. Vigils of mourning transformed into protests. Crowds filled the streets, Candles raised, voices shouting his name. The grief of a fandom had become the outrage of a movement. The family's cry for justice. Yu's devastated family stepped forward. His father, with a trembling voice, declared, "Our son was taken from us in a way no parent should ever endure. We will not rest until the truth is revealed and every guilty person is punished." His mother, holding a framed photo, pleaded, "Do not let this case slip into silence. He deserves truth. He deserves dignity." Their anguish resonated deeply, amplifying public anger and determination. The investigation reopened. Under pressure, authorities reopened the case. The apartment was sealed again, re-examined with modern forensic tools. Experts studied fibers, fingerprints, and footprints, reconstructing every possible detail. Yet doubts remained. Did the suspects act alone, or were they pawns in a larger conspiracy? Were powerful figures shielding themselves from exposure? The possibility of a wider network of corruption cast a heavy shadow over the search for justice. Beyond one man, a symbol of betrayal, Yu Menglong's death was no longer seen as a single tragedy. It became a mirror reflecting the hidden rot within the entertainment industry: greed, corruption, betrayal. Fans pointed to the cruelest truth. Yu was not destroyed by distant enemies but betrayed by those he trusted most. A dinner that began with laughter ended with a silence that shocked a nation. The collective outcry. Demonstrations spread. The demands were clear: justice, accountability, punishment. Some called for life sentences. Others for harsher penalties. But beyond vengeance, the case ignited a broader cry for reform. An outpouring against the dangerous mix of fame, money, and unchecked power. What began with the fall of one man had become a movement for transparency and truth. A legacy of light and darkness. China now waits. Trials are yet to begin. The true scope of involvement remains unclear. But one fact is undeniable: the illusion of an accident has been destroyed. The story of Yu Menglong is no longer just about how he died. It is about betrayal and the fragility of trust in an industry built on appearances. His death has become a symbol, a reminder that beneath glamour lie shadows few ever see. And until justice is served, voices will not fall silent. A final reflection. The tragedy of Yu Menglong forces us to confront difficult questions. How many other so-called accidents hide darker truths? How much of the dazzling stage is merely a curtain masking corruption? Yu's memory lives not only in the roles he played, but in the fight for justice his death inspired. His story stands as both a warning and a call. For honesty, for courage, for integrity in a world clouded by greed. And so, we ask you, what do you believe was the true motive behind his death? And if you hold faith, take a moment to send words of compassion, that his soul may rest in peace on its journey toward eternity. Because Yu Menglong's story is not only about the way he died. It is about what we choose to do with the truth he left behind.